Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now, no other game has left quite the lasting impression on me as Bioshock Infinite. The setting, the art style, the story and the music really come together and make the floating city of Columbia feel truly special. It's a shame I can't really play any of the music or ambient sounds because of copyright concerns, but I'd recommend watching or just listening to the music of Columbia, a video I'll leave a link to below. I understand that this game isn't for everyone, like any game really, but aside from the things I like about it, things I've already mentioned, it's worth talking about how well it runs on PC. Bioshock Infinite came out 9 years ago, almost to the day of this video, and I remember it being one of the only new games that I could actually run on my low-end PC all those years ago. I mean, these minimum requirements are some of the most lenient I've ever seen. You may have noticed already, but I'm running the game on nothing but a Celeron G6900, a 2-core, 2-thread processor, and Intel UHD 710 graphics. This is currently the lowest end processor from Intel's 12th gen lineup. It costs less than £50 here and it's perfect for a basic home or office PC build. That said, as I wrote that last sentence, Notepad froze briefly on me, but performance issues are few and far between. The bottom line is that this isn't a chip designed for gaming, especially not without a discrete graphics card. But back to Bioshock. It's 75% off on Steam right now until the end of the month. That's the 31st of March 2022. It costs a fiver here in the UK, but to be honest, it can be found really cheap on disc these days, and it's pretty inexpensive on other digital stores too, most of the time. I've played about 2 hours this morning after starting a new game, and what I've noticed from a performance standpoint is that it will differ quite a lot depending on which level you're playing. I'm using the medium preset at the moment at 1280 by 720, and although the game is far from looking its best, the visuals still hold up with these reduced quality settings. The charming art style helps. It looks respectable at any preset, to be honest. Utilising very low will bring our FPS figure up closer to 60, and to be honest, this would be the most sensible option to play at because when frame dips do occur, we've got a sort of safety buffer to fall back on. The higher the frame rate is at its best, the higher that it will stay at its worst. The on-screen performance figures were taken from the first level, after the first fight breaks out at the Raffle Square, and up until we get to the gate that hides the firemen. Gameplay performance may and likely will vary depending on what you're doing and where you are. Although very low at 720p would probably be how I'd keep things when using nothing but a Celeron, Bioshock's menu offers quite the range of options. We can even go as low as 640 by 480 with a 4:3 aspect ratio, though it may or may not have been stretched to full screen during the recording. I won't know until I edit this together. Whether you play at the default aspect ratio or stretch it to full screen is up to you, but even with these settings, the game still managed to look half decent, and better yet, we're hitting over 100 FPS on occasion. Remember, this is without a graphics card. To be fair though, this is probably a little bit excessive. Although this is certainly the best way to play to ensure a near constant high frame rate, I prefer to target a sort of sweet spot. I found that 720p low offers a 30 to 60 FPS experience, and because of the hardware at hand, I don't think trying to target a solid 60 makes much sense. It's better to aim for a nice mix of graphical quality and performance at this end of the hardware spectrum, in my opinion. It's still pretty impressive that this dual-core CPU is capable of this sort of performance, despite the age of the title. What's more surprising is that the onboard UHD 710 graphics are keeping up as well. This is Intel's newest iGPU solution that I made a video about a few days ago, and they can be found inside the Celeron G6900 or the Pentium G7400, which would actually do a better job of running this game because of the hyper-threading. To conclude, if you're looking for a low-spec friendly game to play on your PC, then Bioshock Infinite is still very much an easily recommendable choice, and one that offers a wide range of graphical settings to choose from. I've always found it to be quite well optimised, and as entry-level hardware gets better and better, it's going to become even easier to run, though how much lower than a 2-core Celeron and integrated graphics we can go before we have some serious performance issues is probably a question for another time, I'm sure. As for this one then, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, let me know what you think of the game down below, and of course how well it runs on your PC, especially if you have a lower end system. And all that's left to say is, hopefully I'll see all of you in the next one.